Hello everybody and welcome back to Minecraft Survival 1.21. I've been busy. I've been a very busy boy. And after the escapade in the last video with the Nether, I needed a breather. And I used that opportunity to take a breather by mining. As you can see, I've now got mostly netherite tools and armor. And I've also finished the starter base. Yeah. I started it on a live stream and unfortunately had to cut that short because I kind of forgot I'd got a meeting that day, and you know it's bad when Minecraft takes over real life. So, as I mentioned in the start of this series, the first ever episode, I was going to build out my comfort zone and my starter base was going to be cottagecore. I decided to go from a reference image instead of just looking at other Minecraft builds and cobbling something together from bits and pieces. And this is what I came up with. Yeah. Definitely out of my comfort zone. And I'll be honest, I'm pretty happy with it. But this thing took me about 6 hours. I'm not joking. The amount of times I built stuff up, went away, stood over here, had a look, and then was like, no, don't like it. Yeah, it was a pain in the backside. But what I'll do is I'll just give you a quick tour of it. So the reason it's kind of got this dark patch here and then a bit lighter, and it's the same with the wood, it's darker at the bottom. In larger builds, you do this to draw people's attention upwards, sort of give the eye something to look at and not have too much detail in. With this build, I wanted it to be sort of, actually that's worked perfectly, sort of the sun is about there actually, and it's coming down, so some parts of the build are lighter, some parts are darker. Right, let's get down off my nice little dirt pillar. It was, it was a challenge. I'm not used to building, especially with these kind of blocks, so trying to find the right blocks, I ended up using bone blocks, diorite, calcite, and some mushroom stem. But around this side of the build, I found it just too plain and bland and boring, so I decided if I was going to have a smelter, here would be a good place to do it. So I designed this little kind of like smelting area, and as you can see, I've been gathering quite a few ores during my mining escapade. We've got a little bucket of, a little box full of iron here ready to smelt, a little box of gold here ready to smelt, and a cauldron for storing excess water in for cooling the metals off. Around this side, I just went basic with a few little bushes and some vines, sort of mixed in a bit of mossy brick, just to kind of add that gradient. I do want to, a lot of this grass I've put down manually, sort of in areas like, you know, when you're cutting your grass and there's bits around posts that you can never get to and you don't want to get too close to your flowers and whatnot. So I've got quite a lot of that to do, and also I've got this little stack of copper here that's strapped down, ready to be smelted. And then around the back, this is the bit I didn't really put too much effort into. Normally, I'm not fussed about the backs of bases, but I don't think anybody is. But again, I kept it a little bit lighter at the bottom, but this time darker at the top. I actually don't know why I did that. There was a thought process behind it, and I can't for the life of me remember what it is. And as you can see behind me, I may or may not have moved the sheep. But we'll get onto the farms in a second, because right now we need to sleep, and I'd like to show you the inside. This is my dog, Satan. It's not a religious thing. I'm not a devil worshipper. Actually, it's named after our first ever family dog. And my dad picked the name to keep his mother-in-law away. So that's why we've got our sates here. Just a little clock above my bed, a few little potted plants here. I wasn't actually going to bother with an interior, but I have made a start. As you can tell, I ran out of bone blocks. This eventually will be a kitchen. I don't think I've got anything in here. I've got my valuables in here. Again, I've been mining, tried to get as much as possible so I could clone these and at least get myself a netherite pickaxe and a netherite sword. I haven't put anything on this helmet yet because I haven't got aqua affinity yet. Right, so if we take a quick look upstairs, the main thing I built this place for is storage. Let's go over and see the farms, because as I said, I've been doing quite a lot of mining and a lot of prepping off camera. You know, all the boring, niggly stuff that no bugger wants to see. And also, my iron farm broke, and I couldn't work out for the life of me why they just stopped producing, but as you can hear, they're back. It's because when I had the bed here and I was sleeping in it, one of those villagers was tied to it. I had 33 villagers and only 32 beds. So, first things first, we've got the sheep farm. Getting these out of here one by one and into these little individual paddocks was an absolute pain, even with a lead. And as you can see, it's producing. And I've actually got a full chest in there as well. It's a very simple setup. I don't know who came up with the original design. We've just got a dispenser here full of shears, an observer underneath just staring at this piece of grass, so when they eat it, the shears clip them, and then the grass from here will spread over eventually. So yeah, the observer powers this, the redstone powers the dispenser shears the sheep. Nice and simple. Here we've just got a very simple, I've forgotten the name of it. Lichen, that's the one. Very simple lichen farm. So you just fill this dispenser with bone meal, flick this lever here, which activates an automatic clock. It's set on the negative, so it feeds one source out and then back round and creates a perpetual loop. I think that's 1 tick, not 100% sure. And then I just stand here with shears and just mine the lichen as it spreads to here, because it can't move here, 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 or here because of the buttons. Don't look at me like that, I've moved to pork chops. Obviously we've just got a very simple composter here, just a hopper that feeds it in, and all I've been putting in there is all of the poppies that we get from the iron golem farm. And then this pain in the backside. So when I built this, I wanted all the farms to be kind of grouped together. And I put the sugar cane down and set up all the observers, and as you can see, they weren't fully grown. This is actually... oh no, one of them was fully grown. Unfortunately, at one point, all the redstone from here was powering this. And as you can see, pumpkins and melons grow a lot faster. They actually seem to grow faster than bamboo, as you can tell. So I had to just have a tweak around of this, put some stone up there to stop this redstone signal being powered by this redstone up here. And this again is a very simple setup. It's a piston over where the pumpkins and melon grows, and if we just pop here, the observer is looking at the stems of the pumpkins and melons, and as soon as they grow it bends, the observer detects it, powers the redstone, and all of the pistons push. And I've got to say, this thing has been kicking out pumpkins and melons. It's way more than I actually needed. Just go in here. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I've been trading quite a lot with everybody. And, yeah, it's been keeping my tools repaired. It's been keeping my levels up enough for me to actually get some decent tools, finally. And over here we have the cactus farm. Another very simple design. Cactus grows, it can't be next to another block, so it automatically pops off, lands in this water stream, and ends up down into a hopper chest. Let's check this actually. Okay, just over 2.5 stacks. That's not bad going at all. And yeah, on this side, we've just got some bamboo growing, just so that we've got pretty much an infinite supply of either wood or fuel. And eventually, I will at some point add to this a kelp farm, as I think having kelp and an auto crafter will come in very handy for additional fuel, because at the moment I'm just currently using lava buckets. So obviously, as you know, a lava bucket will smelt 100 items, and that's pretty much how I've just burnt my way through all of this. No, I think I did fill these up. Yeah, so I think they should have 3 in each. They do. So I can smelt 600 items of ore if need be. But that's not what we're here for today. Unfortunately, I do have to go back to the Nether. And I did eventually find a fortress. It was a bit of a pain in the backside to get to, because the way I mine is... I do it quite strangely. Normally I don't go over the Nether surface. And luckily, very luckily, I did find a fortress after, well, let me show you. Right, so as we get to the end of this particular tunnel, as you can see, I dug further down there. In fact, I'll just quickly show you. Let's just grab my pickaxe. Unfortunately, all of the netherrack had not despawned. So we went up to level 40. I then branched up that way, hit lava, branched straight up that way, hit lava, branched straight up that way, hit lava. But I did hear a blaze. So I decided, let's go back a little bit, dig further up this way. I can't remember if I went to 30 or 40 on this one. And yes, I went up that way as well. Unfortunately, lava. So I ended up coming along here, hit lava. And then I managed to land smack bang on nether brick. Yep, I ended up coming up right underneath the chest, which unfortunately had bugger all loot in it. I then simply popped up here, put some blocks down. There was a blaze just over there, so I killed it. That's why I've got 2 in my chest back at home. But this is as far as I've explored. I thought, do you know what? Let's do it together. So, let's go on a looting spree. Definitely want this. Oh, I see a blaze. Blaze already. Now, we're going to need blaze powder for potions, especially potions of weakness, but I also need them. As I said before, I've so rudely interrupted. We are going to need them for not just weakness potions, but for finding a stronghold, getting ourselves wings. Ideally, I'd like to get at least either half a stack of blaze rods, and I'd certainly like to find an armor trim. Oh, through there. Oh my goodness. Stop it. Ah. No, not like this. Not like this. Right, okay, I think we've got enough blaze. We've got more than enough blaze rods. Okay. And with that, we're getting the hell out of here. Of course it's raining in game. Now let's just go and grab ourselves some... Ooh, that lagged a little bit. Don't know why the lag is so bad today. Just want to grab ourselves. I think it's 1 for 1. Is it 1 for 1? 4 for 1. Extortion. Okay, so we're back at our base, and now I'm just going to craft up some blaze powder. We're going to keep some rods safe just in case, because I think you need those to make copper bulbs. However, I'm not actually worried about that. I'm not worried at all. So we've got our blaze rods, we've got our blaze powder, and now we've got some eyes of ender. And these are going to help us locate the stronghold at a later date. I don't plan on going to a stronghold just yet, because there's a few other little areas I want to explore. And the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to hit an old-fashioned trial. Not a trial, a trail ruin. I always get those two mixed up. And in this chest over here, we have got the necessary tools. A couple of iron shovels and a couple of brushes. Now, during my little mining escapade down there, not only did I find a couple more spawners, this seed is brilliant. I've got to admit, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I've kind of lucked out. But whilst I was on my little diamond mission, I actually found a trial chamber. The new trial chambers from the update. The 1.21 update, which is the one we're currently playing at the moment. And I am looking forward to tearing that thing to pieces. And here we are at one of the trail ruins. Now, usually these are found, they can be found at the edge of water edges, at birch forests, or found in tiger biomes. So basically with these, they seem like they're just relatively small structures, but they are actually quite large underneath. It helps if you can speak English. So first, all we're going to do is we're just going to dig round, find the edge of the building, and then we're just going to tunnel our way down until we hit cobblestone bricks, or stone bricks, should I say. Right, so we've hit mud brick and packed mud, and then it's just ended in stone. So I believe this is going to be the ground level on the inside. But right here we have some suspicious gravel. As you can tell, the central texture of it is just slightly different to the normal. Now this is why I've been using iron shovels, because if these drop or get broken with a shovel, they break and are gone for good. So we'll just get our brush here and see what's inside. This is obviously a candle. Yep, it's a red candle. So unfortunately, not very good, but some of the loot in these places can be incredibly good. And that's why I'm taking my time to make sure I don't accidentally break anything with an efficiency 5 diamond pick. So I'm just going to dig this area out and we'll see what it looks like after. Hiding in the roof. Not just another wooden hoe. It is. Is that suspicious as well? That one was. That smashing noise you just heard then, that was one of them breaking. That's a bit of a shame. Knowing my luck, that probably had an armour trim in it. Is that another wooden hoe? No, another dead bush. Oh! It was the armour trim. We got host. We just got host. That is brilliant. So that is one of 3. So let's keep going. Right, so we've come to the end of the first chamber, and unfortunately this was quite a letdown. There was only 2 very small off-branching rooms, but I will probably come back to the brick and the terracotta and the mud, because right now our inventory is looking a little bit cluttered. So far though, we've managed to get 2 of the 3 armour trims and also the Aaron Sheroff relic music disc. But unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to run a lot of this stuff back to base and then come back and check this side. So I'll go and do that, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, let's check this area out then. Diorite, that's not a good start. That's not a good start at all. Hang on, wait. The glazed terracotta's down here on the ground. That usually means that the ceiling collapsed. So there could potentially... Yeah. It could potentially go in that direction as well. So let's check that out. And so we've completely cleared this area out. Unfortunately, it was a bit disappointing. This one wasn't quite as big or as expansive as some of the other ones I've encountered. As you can see, I've just thrown a few items on the ground there. There was only a few small offshot rooms, and quite frankly, there was a lot of chunks where it just literally sliced clean through. And yeah, it did cost us a little bit, but there's still quite a few resources for us here. Not to mention, I've already made 1 trip back, and we've still got all of this. Did manage to find 2 more armour trims, unfortunately not the ones I'm missing, but they will definitely be welcome in my collection. So I'm going to grab a few items from here, take these back to base, and yeah, eventually I'll just come back for all of this stuff, but for right now it can stay here until I decide to come back and clear the entire place out. So let's get rid of all this stuff and head home. Right, so we're back at base, and out of all of the additional junk that we got, we did get Aaron Sheriff Relic, and we managed to get 2 Host Armour Trim and 3 Razor Armour Trim. And as tempted as I am to put those on my armour now, I'm actually going to hold off for a while, as we're going to go and take on a trial chamber. This is going to be fun. I've pretty much emptied my inventory, and the only thing I'm taking really is wrong button. Only thing I'm taking really is a golden apple, just to be on the safe side, as they can get pretty nasty. Let's take our portal there. Every time you're on the other side of this portal, there's always one. Last time there were 3 sheep, a cow, a chicken, a skeleton and a zombie pigman. So down here, after I found the chamber, I decided I'd take it upon myself to build a portal there, because it is relatively far from my base. I mean, I can take it on foot down my mine shaft, but this is just a lot faster. And here we are. So, as I was just mining out through here, just digging, I was actually looking for a chamber. And I just started mining in different directions. Mining along here. I was actually looking for a cave system, hoping to find an exposed one. And as you can see, every 10 blocks I was just digging into the wall, seeing if I could find a cave. And I got to about, I think it was about here. As you can hear, there were skeletons, so I started digging and looking round. But then I heard a breeze, or the sound of something like a breeze, and I thought, I didn't think they spawned unless the chamber was activated. So I haven't been in here yet, but we are going to venture in. Ooh, I haven't seen a room like this. Oh, and there we go. So unlike normal spawners, these things only activate when they see you. And that was stupid. Oh no, not a breeze. This enemy here is the breeze. The new mob recently added. Oh, he's leapt away. Now, I can't use my bow and arrow on him, unfortunately. But we can take him out. And as you can see, we've managed to get some breeze rods. Now, breeze rods are used to basically make the mace. I can't remember. And we've got our first trial key. So each time one of these is stopped, so once it spawns a certain amount of enemies, once they are all defeated, they turn themselves off. And they produce a loot at random. It's not, I can show you one. Message for you, sir. It's called death. Right, let's just get back up here. So now it's been defeated. All the skeletons have been killed. It shuts itself off. And we got a piece of roast chicken, which I'm going to munch down on to save space in my inventory. Now, we're going to move this to one side, just for now. And we've also now got the copper bulbs. As you can see, this one is brighter than this one. It's currently waxed. I believe it's in its waxed form. So if I do this, that removes the wax. And then to make it brighter, you just left click again. And it sort of scrapes off the rust. So with normal copper blocks, you've got obviously the fully oxidized. And that is the same with the bulbs. So the more oxidized they are, the dimmer they become. And I will be coming back and absolutely tearing this place to pieces, because not only is it inundated with the tough blocks, but it's also full of copper, as you can see. I do love the new copper blocks. And the bulbs are quite expensive. Now, what we've got there is one of the... So what we've got there is one of the trial chamber locked chests. And they can only be opened with these keys, and they can only be acquired by beating those trial spawners, which I'm about to go and activate now, but I want to be on the platform with it. So it will see me, it activates. I believe that was the last one, and we've got ourselves another key. So as you walk over to them, the mouth opens. If you have a key, pop it in, and let's see what we get. Trident. Okay, I've never had a trident before from one. And I'm going to put a torch on that to mark that I've opened it. Once a player has opened one of these, that player can no longer open them. However, if you're on a multiplayer server, each person that has a key can open it a maximum of one time each. Now, we'll just grab this loot. And what we've got here, let's just get rid of some of this junk a second. So it gave us a couple of arrows of poison. It gave us 2 emeralds, a full durability trident. That's pretty good. But it also gave us an ominous bottle. Now, the ominous bottles act in a similar way to bad omen that you used to be able to get from villager captains. Now, the captains no longer give bad omen. What they do is they will drop an ominous bottle, and you can use those to manually trigger raids. You can also use them inside these dungeons. For example, if I was to drink it now, which I think I'm going to, but I will wait a moment, that will reactivate the cooldowns on these, and they will spawn ominous enemies. They are usually better equipped. They will have armor on them between gold and iron. They will also have more powerful weapons, and there will be more of them. They are also an absolute nightmare to put down, and they don't drop whatever loot they're carrying. So if one of them comes at you with a fully enchanted iron sword, unfortunately that is not going to drop. Okay. And we've also got a pot here, and this has got the new pottery sherd on it. I believe this one's called Flow, is it? Oh, and we've also, from breaking them, there is loot inside them. Again, it's random. We got another trial key. Yes, the Flow pottery sherd. So I'm just going to break these. Iron. And obviously it breaks them down into their brick form. If you were to use Silk Touch, you get the full block back. And what's in these barrels? Just some tuff, which I don't really need. Don't need that either. I don't need iron. Let's break this one. Drop the pot. And it's just given us more bricks. Now, I want to mark out that I've been in this one, so I will light that, stick a torch there, and take a venture down. Now, these can lead either to lower levels or just down to single rooms like this with a treasure chest. And this is another feature added to 1.21. These are wind chargers, and they can be used in quite... Oh, have we got the flow banner? Oh, we've got the Guster banner pattern. I'm just going to pop a torch in front of that so I know I've already accessed it. Nothing in these. Right, and we've got another one of the new pottery sherds, and I believe that is scrape. The axe basically indicating that you can scrape the copper down. Is there anything in this barrel? A couple of bamboo hanging signs. I will take those simply because they're a pain in the backside to craft. Okay, and normally these rooms go on a little bit further, but it looks like this one hasn't. And you'd normally find a set of ladders that would lead up to the second floor. Unfortunately, that's not the case. There isn't any on this side either. So it looks like we're going to have to pillar our way up there, which shouldn't be too difficult. We'll just grab ourselves a couple of blocks. Right, I've placed a torch down just to keep this area relatively lit. However, what you don't need to worry about is other mobs spawning in here. Very similar to ancient cities, mobs do not spawn inside these trial chambers. The only mobs that will spawn... Oh, we've got a skeleton. We've got a spider spawner up there this time. It could be a poisonous one. I won't know until I get up there. And the only other mobs are Endermen, but they usually will teleport in from caves outside. Other than that, If you wanted to, you could completely tear this down and not have to worry about lighting it up, as mobs cannot then spawn in your base. And right up there, we have a ominous chest. Now, these can only be opened with ominous keys. And the only way you can get an ominous key would be to drink the bottle of Bad Omen, activate the ominous trial spawners, and then basically pray for a bit of luck that you get a ominous key out of it. Ooh, we've got a block of emerald out of that one. Any more? I'm looking mainly for trial keys. That's all I'm fussed about right now. Oh! Now that is an incredibly lucky find. So this is one of the 3 new albums added to the game. As you can see, we've got here Lena Raine Creator Music Box. The other one is also Lena Raine Creator. This is like, you know, those little cranky wind-up music boxes you could get. That is basically a version, this version of it. Oh, have we got? We have. Nice. So sometimes, yes, behind these grated sections, sometimes it's just solid, and sometimes you have one of these hidden behind it. Now, as you can see on the inside, it's showing the various different loots that this can offer. Now, when I saw the golden apple then, if I'd quickly slapped the key in, I would not necessarily have got the golden apple. This just shows what loot can be inside of it. Let's open it and see if we can get lucky. Another ominous bottle, arrows, iron, a couple of diamonds. Not that great, but not terrible. Okay, so I'm just going to make a little bridge across here, like so. Stick a torch on that, because I know if I wanted to, I could cover this wall and sneak past, and the spawner wouldn't see me. Now, I don't quite know the range on them, but we are currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this would make it 10 blocks away. Let's see if it sees me. It has. And it's normal spiders. I am not concerned. These webs. Also, another thing with the ominous trials is random bottles, potions, will be fired at the player. Oh, bread. It literally gave us bread. Oh, that's disappointing. Right, are there any other doors up here? Let's just break these and see if we've got anything. Oh, we got another key. That's brilliant. I'm absolutely dead chuffed with that. And I don't think there was anything else up here. And it looks to me like this was even with the wall downstairs. So clearly this chunk just decided not to load one in. Are there any doors? There's a doorway up there. But once again, because of where the chunk has sliced off, we haven't got a ladder to get up there. So we're just going to pillar up. Mark it so we know we've entered it. And this staircase is going upwards. So hopefully this is going to take us into another area of the map. It's not, unfortunately. It's just another... That is also a wonderful find. Another armor trim to add to our collection for the day. We've landed really, really lucky with these armor trims today. I will take that and I will leave the emeralds. As I say, I've got villagers. And we've got Bad Omen 2 and Bad Omen. Now, I don't know the difference between these. I'm actually... because I thought it was the length, but they are all 100 minutes. And I'm wondering if that has anything to do with raids. Whether that makes the raid more difficult. Okay, so what I'd like to do then is test. We need to do a test, and right now they are on cooldown. They can't do anything, but I want to see if we can get ourselves an ominous key. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to activate this one over here, and we're going to go, let's save Bad Omen 2 and use Bad Omen 1. What did I just pick up then? An emerald. Well, that can go bye-bye. So, here we go. Are we ready for this? I certainly am not. You see the particle effects come off. Now, luckily with spiders, I believe it's just a ridiculous amount of them that get sent out. Thankfully, it's not a poisonous spider one. If it was, I would have more concerns. Oh, there we go, they're all beaten. And yes, that is a great stroke of luck. We have an ominous trial key. Which means if we want, which I certainly do, we can go and open that right now. Can I do this? So let's just go across to here. Now, once again, the loot in here is completely random. I am hoping, I'm praying, for a power core, or possibly one of the new enchantments. Let's see if we get lucky. We've got a gapple, emeralds, diamonds, and that's it. I mean, don't get me wrong, an enchanted golden apple is certainly nothing to scoff at, but disappointing once again. And as you can see, these skeletons here, some of them have got armour on. Diamond, in fact. Unfortunately, they won't drop it. And there's the potions. So a potion has just hit me. And we've got another ominous key. Again, that's pretty lucky. Sounds like the other one's just activated. What am I doing? I can't use this on them. Right, get down here. Wait, that was a clean hit. That was better. Really? After all that, you give me baked potatoes? Ugh. Well, that's just plain disappointing. But I believe there is still one more spawner up here. There it is. And once again, more baked potatoes. Ugh, disappointing. Oh, and that other one over there did drop me a ominous key. I did not know that. Let's get rid of the bricks. Right. Now the problem is I now also have bad omen. Which means if I were to return to my base now, that is definitely going to trigger a raid. Unfortunately, that's not what I want to do. Okay, so let's take our portal back. Hopefully, when I go through into my base, it's not going to trigger a raid straight away. If it is, well, we're going to have a fight on our hands. Okay, we're through our portal. I am not going over there. I am not going over there because I have villagers and I have a bell. I'm going to go in here, drop this stuff off, and then we're going to have a nap. Could get hero of the village, but I've got an ominous bottle. If I want to do that, I can do that another time. There we go, and the milk will get rid of bad omen for us, which means I can approach my villagers without triggering a raid. So we've drank ourselves some milk, got rid of bad omen, so I don't need to worry about triggering a raid at my base. But let's have a look at what we've collected today. We've managed to come away with 2 music discs, 3 different smithing templates, including the new bolt armor template and the new music disc. We've also got a few breeze rods and a few wind chargers, along with a couple of keys in case we come across another trial chamber. We've also got pretty lucky with an enchanted apple, and I've got a battle of bad omen, just in case we want to take on another trial chamber or a raid at base. We've got the brand new flow and scrape pottery shirts, and my voice is starting to go. So all in all, it's been a really good day. Today, all in all, we've done pretty well. We've managed to dismantle an old trail ruin, and we've taken on a trial chamber. Next episode, we're going to the ancient city. We're going to go into that ancient city and we're going to try and loot the living hell out of it. As I mentioned before, I've already been in, managed to grab myself a Swift Sneak 3 and then get out. But I want to clear that city and see if there's any more armor trims in there, a couple more Swift Sneaks, and just see what other loot is available. After that, we're going for a stronghold. We're going for a stronghold, and we're going to go take down the Ender Dragon and get ourselves some wings. That is the plan for the next episode. And with that, thank you ever so much for watching. Take care, be good people. Leave a like and give a subscribe if you fancy it. Take care now. Bye bye then. Bye.